Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Browns this season, you know it's been a roller coaster. Coming into 2025, expectations were high, especially after last year's strong finish and the promising talent they assembled. But things haven't exactly gone according to plan so far. The Browns sit at 2-6, and let's be honest, that record doesn't reflect the potential many of us saw in this team. Their latest game, a blowout loss on the road to the New England Patriots, really summed up some of the issues that have been plaguing this squad. It was a game that exposed some serious offensive struggles, despite the fact that Cleveland's defense, especially Myles Garrett, was still putting in work with 5 sacks. But even with Garrett's relentless pressure, the Patriots' offense, and more specifically their quarterback, managed to carve through the Browns' defense with relative ease. Now, if we look at the game film, it's clear that the Browns' offensive struggles are not just about the lack of execution, but also about the uncertainty at quarterback. Dillon Gabriel, who took over after Joe Flacco was benched and then traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, has been underwhelming. It's not that Gabriel is playing terribly, but he's also not showing that spark that can elevate this offense into something dangerous. He hasn't been taking many shots downfield, and that's a concern for a team that needs to stretch defenses to open up their running game and play action passes. The question that's been circulating among fans, analysts, and insiders is whether Cleveland should give Shedeur Sanders a real shot at the starting role. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback out of Colorado, had a pretty impressive preseason. Many scouts and analysts believed he could be a game changer with his arm talent, football IQ, and leadership qualities. But so far in the regular season, we've yet to see him step onto the field for a single snap. That's despite the fact that the Browns traded up in the draft to select him alongside Dillon Gabriel. It's a bold move, and honestly it's been met with a lot of curiosity and some frustration from the fan base. Cleveland's coaching staff has stuck with Gabriel, citing his experience and the need for stability, but the results have been less than inspiring. This is where the recent comments from sports media personality Skip Bayless come into play. Bayless, known for his outspoken opinions and sometimes controversial takes, recently made a very bold statement on X, formerly Twitter. He said, "I really hope somebody trades for Shedeur Sanders. I just believe in all my heart and soul in Shedeur Sanders. He's it. He's got a Brady-esque arm, and he's as tough as they come and deadly accurate. He was born to play this position in this league at this level. If you throw him into this fire and it is a dumpster fire at the moment, he'll light it up." Now, that's a pretty high praise coming from one of the most vocal voices in sports commentary. Bayless isn't just throwing compliments around for fun. He truly believes Sanders has that special something, that intangible quality that can elevate a team in a hurry. But why is Bayless so high on Sanders? Well, it's not just about his arm talent, which many scouts have compared to some of the great quarterbacks in the league. It's also about his mental toughness, his poise under pressure, and his ability to make throws in tight windows. Despite being a rookie, Sanders showed flashes of brilliance during preseason, and his leadership qualities were evident even before he took a snap in the regular season. For the Browns, who are desperately searching for stability at the quarterback position, bringing in Sanders could be a game changer. It's no secret that the franchise has been trying to find that long-term answer under center for years, and while Gabriel has been serviceable at times, he's not exactly inspiring confidence in the fan base. Now let's talk a little about the team's current situation. Cleveland's draft strategy this year was interesting. They did something quite rare, drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same class. Sanders and Gabriel are both young, talented, and with a lot of potential, but the question is, how long can Cleveland wait before making a bold move? The team's offensive line has been somewhat inconsistent, and that's putting even more pressure on whoever is under center to make quick decisions. The running game, traditionally a strength for Cleveland, has been somewhat up and down, and that puts even more onus on the quarterback to produce. Looking at the bigger picture, the Browns' coaching staff has been cautious with Sanders, wanting to develop him carefully and avoid rushing him into action prematurely. But with a 2-6 record and mounting frustration from the fan base, the pressure to make a change is intensifying. The defense, especially players like Myles Garrett, has been doing their part, but they can only do so much if the offense continues to stall. This creates a very delicate situation. Cleveland needs to find a spark, and perhaps that spark could come from giving Sanders a real shot in the starting lineup. Now, it's worth mentioning that the upcoming schedule is not exactly forgiving. The Browns will face the New York Jets on November 9 after a bye week, and that's no easy task. The Jets' defense is tough, and their offense has been improving under their quarterback. Cleveland needs to address these offensive issues swiftly if they want to stay competitive. The coaching staff has some tough decisions to make, and the question is whether they will be willing to take a risk on Sanders, especially given how highly some analysts, including Skip Bayless, believe in his potential. This situation also raises a lot of questions about the team's long-term vision. Is Cleveland looking to rebuild quickly? Are they willing to take a gamble on Sanders now, even if it means risking some growing pains? Or do they prefer to stick with Gabriel a little longer, hoping he can turn things around? These are the questions that every Browns fan is asking right now. The franchise has a rich history, filled with ups and downs, but right now, they seem to be at a crossroads. The decision they make in the next few weeks could define their season, and possibly their future, whether they go all in on Sanders or stick with their current plan. And let's not forget, the Browns have a talented roster overall. Myles Garrett continues to be one of the league's premier pass rushers, and their defense is still formidable. But football is a game of points, and if your offense can't produce consistently, even the best defense can only do so much. Cleveland's offense has struggled to stay on the field, convert third downs, and put up points when it matters most. That's why the quarterback position has become the focal point of much debate. Sanders, with his arm talent and leadership, might just be the solution. They just need to give him the shot to prove it. Now, coming back to the fans, I know many of you are eager to see Sanders on the field. The preseason showed us a lot of promise, and it's hard not to get excited about what he could bring to this offense. With Gabriel struggling to make the big throws and take risks, Sanders could provide the spark that energizes the entire team. But it's also about patience, about trusting the process and understanding that development takes time. Still, in a season that's already been rocky, sometimes the boldest moves are the ones that can turn everything around. As we look ahead, the Browns need to find a way to reverse this downward spiral. Their next game against the Jets could be a turning point. Will they stick with Gabriel, or will we see Sanders finally get his chance? That's the debate that's raging among fans and insiders alike. The coaching staff has shown some patience, but the clock is ticking. Cleveland's window to make a serious playoff run isn't closing yet, but it's certainly shrinking if they don't find offensive consistency soon. So, in summary, the Cleveland Browns are at a pivotal moment. The season hasn't gone as planned, and the calls for change are growing louder. The potential of Shedeur Sanders has been a hot topic, especially with the praise from Skip Bayless, who believes Sanders has that Brady-esque arm and the toughness needed to succeed at the highest level. Whether or not the Browns will take that leap and insert Sanders into the lineup remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure. It's a storyline that's going to keep fans on the edge of their seats. Cleveland's future could hinge on this decision, and all eyes are on the team's coaching staff to see if they're willing to make the bold move that could redefine their season. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Sanders should get his shot now? Or do you think Gabriel deserves more time to turn things around? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Browns news. We're in this together, and no matter what happens, our passion for the Browns remains unbreakable. Thanks for sticking with me, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Go Browns!